Hey folks, it's Pat here. Welcome back. Big night tonight. We're going to run our mine train for the first time. And so this is operating session number 2. And this is going to be train number 3. And I want to show off to you my brand new locomotive here. So welcome. This is number 3, our third locomotive. And this, unlike our other 2 engines, this one here is a hog. So we've got ourselves a brand new big old iron horse here. This is the Mogul. And this is an absolutely excellent engine. And so we're going to run it tonight. Let me show you what the plan is. I've spent like the last hour or so getting everything set up here. And so we've done all our yard moves and things like that. But let me show you what we're going to do. So tonight we're right here. And so we're in our yard. We're going to run this train all the way down over our new trek, up and over Horseshoe Pass right there, down here to the iron mine. So we're going to empty all of these beams and lumber cars and fill up our ore cars. We're going to turn the engine and we're going to head all the way back right up here to the yard. And we're going to pick up 3 cordwood cars and take those down to the smelter, which is roughly like this. So this is going to be a long run. I don't know if we can actually do it in one video. I'm going to try though. I'm thinking it's going to take about 90 minutes though. And so if we're hitting about the hour mark when we get back to the freight depot, we'll split it into 2. But that is the plan. And so anyway, let's I'm going to show you kind of how I have the yard set up here. So this train, our mine train, train number 3, is currently on yard 1. All right, getting ready to depart to the south. And then those are the cordwood cars right there that we'll pick up on the way back. And we'll put those on the head end, so we'll come in here on main 1. And then I've got Betsy over there in my switcher pocket. So when the whole train comes back, we'll pull back in on main 1. We'll go ahead and roundhouse the engine and get her serviced at that point in time. And then Betsy will shove in the loads of steel or whatever it is, rails and iron, down to the depot so we can make money. So because this engine, I mean, I don't know, I ran the lumber local quite a bit in order to save up for it, but I'm excited. And so here we go. Let's just get out of here. I've got my switches lined. Let's see, I think she's fired up. Let's just go ahead and put on a little gas here, make sure all our boys are coming with us. Throw a couple more logs on the fire here. And let's see, everybody's coming with, because that's always a matter of debate. And so I've got the hoppers on the rear of the train here. Those are my empties. The rest of these are loads, as you can see. And so loads go on the head end, empties go on the rear. And we'll turn the engine up at the mine, which will mean everything is right in order for the way back. I think I've got this planned out pretty good, so I'm fairly excited about tonight's run. Let's go ahead and peel off just a little bit of speed here, because I want to flip this switch. Because all I have to do is flip this switch right here, and we'll line right back into main 1 on the way home. At least I think that's how I got it set up. We'll find out on the way back. So, but I'm excited. This is a cool engine. This is going to be an interesting train. The grade is about 2.5% all the way up to the summit. And so this might be a little bit of a challenge, but we're just going to have to see. So there's 11 cars on the wheel. I've got 9 stake bed flats in these 2 hoppers here. And then, yep, let's go ahead and catch our train. Looks like we're lined. Yep, we're lined on the way back. Oh, good. I'm glad this Y switch wasn't closed. I forgot about that one. All right. Let's hop up here and let's open this engine up here. Let's do about 70. This is nice and flat rail here. So let's pour on some speed. See how well this beast performs with this heavy train here. Actually, I'm not as worried about this one as I am about pulling the iron cars out of the valley down there by the smelter. So I did run Betsy all over this rail I think I got all the little sections that cause you to launch into the stratosphere out of it. I did run a couple cordwood cars down there just as a test to the smelter, and I should have recorded that because I had a spectacular derailment. So, next time I do that, I'll record that one when I go up to the coal mine. Man, this is just a gorgeous piece of machinery, though. Check this out. So we got ourselves a road engine now. I bought this one on my other railroad after I bought the Climax, and I instantaneously regretted buying the Climax. So, I should have had two of these instead. So maybe in this railroad, maybe we'll get another one when we get the coal mine set up, and then we can do some double heading or something like that. That'd be fun. So, but for now, we just got straight open rail. And so this is a section that I don't think I've shown you in the build videos because I didn't record it. It's a pretty straight section that just goes down to where the other video ended, the summit video. And so we've just got a curve here, and then we'll start climbing here pretty quick because it's really not that far from the yard. Looks like it on the map, but it's actually really close. And so this is the curve that's going to take us up the hill. And so before we do that, we throw a couple more sticks on the fire here, if the door will open, just so we can run this 70 all the way up. So we're starting to make the first curve here, and you can check out this valley. There should be some really cool places on this track where you can see quite a bit of train behind you. So let's just make sure all the boys are coming with us. Yep, 2 hoppers on the rear. We're good. Oh man, she sounds great. She's not even losing a lick of steam on this. This is 2.5% right here. There might be a couple curvy sections in here where she slows down a little bit, but this is looking pretty good. You can see the line all the way up to the summit there. That's where we're going. I'm going to try and get there without breaking pace at all, keeping an eye on the rear of our train. So I don't have any handbrake set on this, so I figured that I'd let all the slack spool out, and we'll just drag all these cars up there. Freewheeling. And we're climbing. You can see the way up there. You just barely see it, but the lumber mill's up there. The depot's in this mess of trees somewhere. Sounds like we're losing a little bit of steam here. So, but this engine holds an absolutely massive amount of water. So, and I filled her up before I stuck her on that train there. Let's see, I think the depot's in there somewhere. Oh, this is great. I'm liking this track already. So it sounds like we're losing a little bit of power. Chuffing just a little bit harder. But of course, that's probably the curves, not the grade. So all these curves in here, they cause a little bit more drag. But so far, I haven't felt a need to touch the throttle. We got another curvy section coming up here, and then the last piece of it's actually pretty straightforward. Want to be careful not to hit that F key. So notice when you do that, I don't know if the brake sets anymore, but it definitely kills your regulator. And so I don't want to lose any momentum here, so hands off the F key. Oh, there's a depot right there. So, yep, you can see it. Oh, I love this trestle. So I had to kick it out away from the canyon wall there, just a little, or from the ridge line there, just a little bit in order to keep my curves down. So let's see if we still got our 2 hoppers. We still got our 2 hoppers. We're good. So, but just a couple more curves here, and we should be up to the top of the hill. Now, the other video of the build on the downgrade from the summit, I haven't quite finished editing that one just quite yet. I'm running out of royalty-free music. But I made a mistake on it too. I actually didn't include the portion where I built the mine trackage. And so tonight you'll get to check out not just that downgrade side, but also the very, very simple trackage that I built down at the mine. It's basically just, we're going to head right in, and then there's an escape track for the engine. And then there's a turntable in the middle of it, so we will use the turntable to turn the engine. And this engine barely fits on the turntable, but it does fit. I remember that from my previous railroad. But that way we're actually facing the right way on the way back. And then of course down at the smelter there's a return track down there. We'll have to do a little bit of switching when we get down there, but not too much. So when I ran Betsy down there, I actually wound up tearing out a lot of the track that I spent all that time on in that video that I posted a couple days ago. That it wasn't necessary. I didn't need it, and it was just causing all kinds of points of failure down there. So I've had my share of bugs in this game as well, but track work is definitely something you got to have a little patience with. So I am actually going to hop into the cab here. It's the view, because we don't have to put any more logs on the fire. We're doing great as far as that goes. But here is Overlook Viaduct. I would definitely be... this would definitely be speed restricted. Oh my gosh. Slow her down. Oh, but look at the view. Oh, that's fantastic. I love it. So, oh, even down there you can see the little bit of work that I'm doing up to the coal mine. I just got started on that. I don't know if I'm going to actually use that or not. We'll have to see. Track work in this game, like I said, it takes a bit of patience. But it's kind of cool when you drive the golden spike into a line. Actually, this is flat, so we can actually run this a little bit faster. I don't want to do it too fast just quite yet, because there is a downgrade for just a little bit here, but I think the rest of this all the way over to the mine is flat. In fact, I know it is, because the first time I built this I was going down, and then I wound up way too low. And so I built from the mine, there's the mine right there, all the way out. This is probably the sharpest curve. I had a heck of a time building that one, but it is 18 degrees. So... but yeah, we're about even, so we can go ahead and put that back up to 70. And we get a beautiful view all the way down the canyon here. Love it. Oh man, I love this track already. So, which is good, because I'll probably be running it quite a bit. So, especially only bringing 2 hoppers up. Ideally, we didn't have to break stride coming up on the other side, but I don't know if I can increase the train size to, let's see, the next one that would make sense would be 18 cars, so 7 more cars. So more than half as large. But 70%, I mean, if we open her all the way up, we might be able to do it. Never know. But there's our destination right there. Actually, this didn't take very long at all. 13 minutes, 14 minutes from the yard up here. That's great. My other railroad, I actually used this grade over here that it's kind of built into the map, but it's got a couple spots in it that are pretty gnarly, like 6% grades. You could probably do it in less, but I just decided to come this way, and so far I'm pretty happy with that decision. So here's our destination. Let's whistle off and let the boys know we're coming. Okay, so here's the yard track here, the mine track. There's just one switch here and one switch over there, and that's it. There's a little kickback engine escape track way on the other side. But that was such a clean run that I'm actually tempted to try something here that I've seen somebody else do on the YouTubes. Because I've got this track, this is the loading track. So everything in the mine is lined up, so you can service all of it with a single track. And I'm going to pull right up to this, because the last time I did a mine run on my previous railroad, it was really easy to lose loads. on this, but let's just go ahead and what I want to do is I want to brake. And I want to get out and see here. I think we can actually do this at speed if we're careful. So there's a switch up there, and that's a kickback track. I built a little bumper down there out of trestles. So we shouldn't go careening off into the canyon. So just gonna make sure that switch is lined. And so we'll run the engine down there with the train slowly. And then we'll bring it back on this track, spin it around, and then go back in, knuckle in on the other side. And then load up the ore cars. Which is a little tricky. I don't want to lose any ore on this one. So, but I've got I got 6 beams and 3 flats of lumber, so that's 18. So if I do this right, we should get all of them. So my idea here, like I said, I've seen somebody else do this, and I just want to try it, is to actually just slow roll this through and stand on the platform. I don't know if that's enough regulator or if we're going to start getting wheel slip here. Let's see. It's probably not enough. Just do a little bit more. Let's open that up and get a little bit of momentum going for us here. 20 is probably too much. I want to try about 10. There she goes. If I stand here, and if she keeps that pace, I should be able to unload these. I've been practicing this at the depot lately, and it actually works. So, but the depot has a huge long platform, so you can jack it up, and it doesn't really matter. This is a little teeny tiny platform here. So I'm a little nervous about this. But here we go. Here goes nothing. Let's try it. 1, 2, it's working. As long as she doesn't pick up any speed. Well, I suppose if she picked up some speed, we could just hop on one of these cars and throw on a handbrake. I don't know. Let's see, 7, 8, 9. Nice. It's working. This makes me happy because this would be a pain to do it one car at a time. An absolute pain. But it's basically just like a dump track right now. Oh, actually, you know what? The flats, the ones with the lumber are probably going to be a little bit harder. 16, 17, 18, we got them all. I'm going to throw a handbrake on here. So just to slow this down. Because there's 6 of these on each one of these. Actually, I'm going to throw on another handbrake here to slow this down just a little bit more. Because that engine is strong. Alright, here we go. Here goes nothing. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Nice! Ah, yes! Oh, we might have too much handbrake on. Uh-oh. Ooh. Oop, a little bit too much. Oh, nope, there she goes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 9. Oh man, I think I missed some. Oh no, you know what? It's processing them. I think I got them all. This one should have 9, 15. So it already did 3. Nice. Oh man. 2, 3. Yep. Excellent. Perfect. Let's go up here and hit the brakes. Oh, I got a brake on a car back there, don't I? That's okay. Alright. That's good. Slow up. Let's see. I don't think it was this far ahead. You? No, not you. Not you. You. Gotcha. Okay. Brake off. 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 And off. Alright. Now I want to hit this brake here. Just so we don't roll nowhere. And let's watch this thing here. We got 10. They got 8 lumber and should have 8 beams or 7 beams now. 8. We might have lost a lumber. I don't know. That would suck. But actually that worked a lot better than I thought it would. So I'm pretty happy with that. Yeah, you can't load cars at speed, unfortunately, but it's nice to know that you can unload them at speed. So here we go. And so yeah, I built this little kickback track here. Just this little pocket that I can use to escape the engine out of here. And then we're just going to run her back down that track, and we'll give her a little spin on the old turntable there, which is kind of a pain. So, but I think I actually figured out a fairly clever way to do it. Because with my lumber train, if I don't use Betsy to shove the lumber cars into the depot, I have to spin the other engine, and so I've had to spin number 2 quite a few times. Alright, here we go. Not too much on the regulator there. Oop, got out on the wrong side. Oh, hit my cylinder cock too. Didn't mean to do that. Probably should. And we gotta line the switch back. So that's a good rule to have. So leave everything the way you found it. That way you can plan on it next time. Wait for it to clear the switch. Alright. Go and hop in here and gingerly park this monster on the oh, no, that's way too fast. On the turntable here. So, and I had a heck of a time getting these tracks to line up when I was building this thing. So, but I have used it with Betsy, so it does work. This engine just barely fits. Gotta get that pilot wheel just over the end there, because all you get is about 1 inch or 6 inches of clearance on each side. Check that out. Look at that. Look how close that is. That's where the gap is, right there. And here's the tender. It's right there. Now, let's see if this works. Yeah, you can just sit on this thing and click the button, and it'll spin around. So I tried a couple different ways to try and build a balloon track up here, but man, the radius on it was just way too tight, and you had to build this like crazy trestle kind of out in the canyon. And so I just decided, alright, so for flavor and variety, we will use the turntable. Well, it's actually out of convenience too. So because when I had the climax in my other one, I would just run the engine backwards down the canyon and keep it on the oh, here we go. That's too far. Too far. Ah, too much English. So what if I hit the right button? Work that way too? I think it does. Yep, it sure does. Check that out. Oh. Yeah, I got a little too zealous there. I guess our engineer trained man here is a little stronger than he looks. So I don't have any experience with turntables though, so you don't see too many of them in the one-for-one world anymore. Although I hear tale that there are a few. I have never seen one. If you have any experience with turntables, let me know if I'm jacking something up here. So, alright, off we go. And see, look at this. I was going to build a fuel facility and a water tank up here, but as soon as I saw the capacity on this engine, I was like, don't need that. So, speaking of fuel, do need that. And throw a few more sticks on the fire here. And let's get out of here. Then we'll just load up. So these two will be right behind the engine, so they'll be pretty easy to load. I did put a little piece of track down here just in case I need it, but I don't think I do. We'll have to see. Because I was thinking that one hopper, you could use both chutes. Well, if I recall, it actually comes out of there pretty fast. So we want to be careful. Oh, actually, I shouldn't have ridden the engine. Could have gotten up there and turned that switch. That's okay. Doing great on time. I didn't think this one, I would thought this one was going to take a lot longer than this. So, oh man, maybe I put the switch a little bit too far out here. This is on a little bit of a downgrade here, so actually I do have to be a little careful. So, put the prow right up to that switch though. Without derailing. I don't want to derail my brand new engine on its very first day in service. Yeah, superintendent would be unhappy with me. So I hear that guy's a jerk. Let's see. And then we'll close the switch and everything will be set up for another run on the way back. After we take this train all the way down to the smelter. Now it is a little disheartening to see how close the smelter is, knowing that you have a lot of territory to cover before you can get there. But I, on this railroad, elected for speed rather than distance. This engine definitely fits the bill. So, although, you know, even having her at 70, I think every engine in this game is capped at like 15 miles an hour. I mean, unless you just like kick off the brakes on some wicked grade, then I'm sure they go a little bit faster. But well, let's see, we got a pin back here, right? Yeah, we didn't pull the pin. Well, we'll just head right back up in here. So, but yeah, so far so good. Knock on wood. Haven't had any no clipping issues or anything. One of the tracks I had to adjust up here on a canyon wall because it launched Betsy into space on a test run. You know what? When I build the mine track, I'm gonna record the test run with Betsy because I actually had to do quite a bit of track work, fixing things. The thing that I was kind of worried about was these platforms. We'll see. I think I've got it. I put it right over where the pile of rocks is on the ground there, and so I think the devs did that out of kindness. So, to ensure that you didn't waste any iron ore. All right. So let's switch back there as line so we can shove this train all the way back. Oh, actually, you know, that's another consideration. I don't know if I can fit 15 cars in here. Might. If not, I'll have to extend that a little bit further. Alright, there's some bell. We are moving at a platform here. Gotta follow the ruse. I'll pull up to this hopper here, and then we'll pull out next one. Let's see. Let's see if I got that track where I want it. It's kind of a guess. Oh, get a little bit. I'm getting a little bit zealous there. Easy does it. I don't know if that's where I want it. Let's see. Actually, it looks pretty good. We can drop us the hopper here. Come on. Come on. Do your thing. Then we had 18. And so we do 9 in each. So you know what? I'm just going to do 1. Maybe on the next one I'll drop 2, but I don't want to waste any. And these cars hold 10. And so if you drop 11 into it, you lose 1. So 14, 13. I think you can look at the car too, and it tells you how many are in it. Yeah, up there in the orange. So there's 5 in there now. So that doesn't seem right. 11, 10. Nope. One more. There we go. Ah, yeah, it looks full. It definitely looks full. Alright, let's see how many are in here. We got 9 in there. Okay, that's what we wanted. Yeah, 9 and 9 is 18. Math. Alright, let's pull forward 1. Here we go. And then we can just rock right on out of here, down to the yard. So, which will take probably no steam, except for like the first maybe minute or two of it. There we go. Let's try both these hoppers this time. So, since can't lose none. Actually, this one looks a little bit off. I think it'll be okay. Go ahead and do it. Oh, come on. Do the things. Cool stuff. This looks like coal, more so than iron. So I got the chance to visit a major coal mine when I worked on the railroad, and they load trains at speed. It's like 3 or 4 miles an hour. It's got this big chute that drops down in the middle of the car, and it just fills up like a loaf of bread. Kind of cool looking. Never got to see a rotary dump though. Those are pretty neat. All right, I think we're ready. Go ahead, reverse her forward, open her up. Well, we'll ease out of the yard here. We're out of the loading facility. Remember, we do have that grade, so don't want to break any knuckles. I don't think we will though. These are all empties now, so this train's not near as heavy as the one coming up. Like I said, the one that I'm concerned about is the one coming up out of the valley. That one, because it'll have 18 rails and 18 iron on it. I think I got enough flats to fit all those. I don't know how many rails. I think it's 10 rails per stake, and iron I think is 3, just like the beams. Alright, we're lined. We're out of here. Off we go. So first leg of the trip done in 32 minutes. That's pretty good. So I don't know if we're gonna make it down to the smelter here in under an hour. So we gotta do one move in the yard when we get there. We gotta grab the cordwood cars. But I'm tempted to run down there. So damn the length of the video. So, yeah. Let's open that up just a little bit. 46, yeah. Give me 70. Looks great. This trestle here, I'm not terribly excited about. I should have pushed it a little bit closer to the ground there, but that's just me being super picky about my track. So, but hey, man, in this game, building is half the fun. So it takes a lot of work to get a piece of track up to something like this. And I think in the previous one, I tried this like 3 or 4 different ways. Even on this one, because I usually use trestles to scope everything out first to make sure that my grades are okay, and I can actually make some of the curves. So I tried a couple different routes on this one that I've seen other folks on YouTube do, including one where there's a plateau up here that I've seen several people build on. I just couldn't get there. So, not with the 2.5% grade. If someone else knows how to do that, and hats off to you, brother. Wait, I didn't want to do that. I didn't want to hit my F key. Well, actually, it didn't change my regulator, so no worries. So, I guess we'll just stay in this view then. Look at that! See, and there's a smelter way down there! That's okay, we got a ways to go. But look at this, we're already at the summit. Here's that horseshoe viaduct. I love this bridge. It took me a while to build it, just to get the bents in the right spaces and stuff, where they don't get all jacked up. So, but actually building the bridges and using the Alt key does a pretty good job of laying out pretty decent curves. Like, look at this curve. So, I'm really happy with this one. Came out really well. It's 18 degrees. So, and here we go. We're almost at the summit of this. Check that out. Everybody's coming with. Alright. Easy does it. Easy does it. Easy does it. This one will be a little interesting. Bet you we can just coast. We can probably drift all the way down. So just a little bit of break. There's a depot right there. See, you can't see the iron mine or the lumber mill, but I bet you the log camp. Oh, it doesn't have any tall buildings in it, does it? See, this curve here is a little gnarly. That would definitely be a little bit of a pucker moment. Like, well, how are we going to get down? Are we going down slow or really, really fast? So, ease off a little bit of break there. So, I think I said in the other video, I never did mark up in engine school. But I did a lot of ride-alongs. It was kind of interesting. Sometimes you'd have hoggers who were, you know, just talk. You know, others of them were pretty silent. That was always kind of scary. But there were other ones who would talk you through everything they were doing. And then if they went quiet, you knew that, oh, what's going on? You know, so, but this isn't too bad. This isn't too bad. This wouldn't be too terrifying. So that bridge up there, back there, the viaduct, that'd probably be scary. Be good for the tourists. Yep, just gonna drift all the way down. Just give her a little bit of brake. This engine does have an air brake on it. That's what this compressor is, which is that thing right there. If you're curious. Now again, I'm no expert on steam locomotive. I'm sure some of you are. And I'd love to know what you know. But I never got a chance to work with steam engines. So, in theory, there are a few out there. Still doing revenue service. I've heard tale of a couple back east, and then I think there's one here in Colorado. I don't think they run it too much just because of fires and stuff. But I'm not quite sure. I've never seen it. Yeah, oh, this is great. Yeah. Nice, easy, just drifting all the way down. So, a little bit of curvy, jiggy-jaggy right here. Not too bad. Nothing that you need too much brake on. Maybe this one here, just a touch of brake. Yeah, this one would also be another pucker moment. So, because you always have the danger of the inside wheel or the outside wheel riding up. I don't know if that's modeled in this game. That'd be really interesting if it was. Oh, we don't need any regulator. Maybe just a touch right here. This curve was a pain in the butt to build. If you watch the video, I probably spent a good half an hour on this thing just trying to get it right over and over again. And it kept like looking like it was going to work, and then I'd wind up in the canyon wall using my curve radius, and eventually I just was able to pull it out far enough where, oh, I still got a little bit of brake on there, where or pull the curve back far enough away from there where it actually fit. Uh-oh. Oh, we got everybody. Thought I heard something there. Pop. So sometimes when you have a major derailment, you don't even know it. So I haven't had anything too terrible yet. I've been a lot more careful on my track work on this one than the previous one. But like I said, I did run a couple cordwood cars down to the smelter with Betsy just as a test. And had a fairly spectacular. Well, I guess it was only 3 cars, so it wasn't that big a deal. So, I haven't had anything truly monumental yet in this game. I'm sure it's coming. Hopefully not tonight, but I'm sure it's coming. So, and derailments, I mean, I don't know. Derailments are, especially on freight railroads, they're way more common than you think they are. So, and they usually come in a couple different flavors. So you have your kind of funny ones, which happen in the yard usually, where someone just did something stupid. Didn't close a switch, or made a reverse move over a closed switch, or something like that. Cornered a car. Seen that happen plenty of times. So, usually when you have an overzealous switch crew that wants to get to beans as quickly as possible. Then you have your spectacular derailments, so which, like I said, I have yet to have on this railroad. But those are the ones that close down the railroad for a day or two. Or a week. So, I drive by a pretty heavy corridor on my way to work. Oh, we're losing power here. So I didn't think our fire would go out. Did it set my brake? It sure did set my brake. Come on. Where you going here? Oh, just blew schedule, man. There we go. Everything's set right. Yeah. This engine is a little finicky. Sometimes you grab the wrong thing and you don't mean to. Go ahead and open that up, although we're a little low on pressure. So that's okay. We can just ride it here in the cab like this. It'll pick up. The yard's just right around that bend up there. We should be okay. We're gonna stop in the yard anyway. I didn't want to lose my momentum though. I guess we didn't have too much. We're on flat territory here and there's no loads on this train. Well, there's 2 loads, but the vast majority of our cars are not loads. And so we got one move to make here in the yard, which should be pretty quick. And then we can head down to the smelter. And I'm kind of curious to see how this train handles on that track, because there's one gnarly trestle on that track that has a pretty... I mean, it's downgrade and it's on a curve. So I don't think we would derail on it. I think if we had loads on the end, we might string line on it, which would be absolutely spectacular. If we did that. So it'd topple the entire train right in the canyon. So, but I don't think it'll be a problem. Let's see, that switch is still lined. Yeah, we're losing boiler pressure here. I think. Let's take a look. Oh yeah, look at that. We were way down. Oh, is it ticking back up? Oh, it's ticking back up. We're alright. Let's just go ahead and yard our train here. I think all our switches are lined, and so we'll be in pretty good shape. Then I position those other cars, those oh man, thought we were building up steam. Are we? Yeah, we are. It's ticking up. I wasn't paying attention to the fire. My bad. Alright, let's see. Here, we'll go ahead and jump in the cab. This one is lined. This one is lined. This one is lined. And the engine's house track is lined. So we're just going to pull all the way up here, and we're going to grab these 2 cars real quick, and then we'll be out of here. Then we'll head right down to the smelter, do a little switching down there. We'll have to do a little loading too, which I have not done yet down there. I did look at the other video, and last time I was down there running Betsy around, I moved the track just a little bit further away from the platform because of that thing that happened up at the log camp with the cordwood cars. See, I don't even need to stop. We don't need to stop for fuel, water, and so I don't even know if we need this water tower here. We might in the future, just depending on what other trains we run. I want to stop short of this switch up here. And cut off cars, cut off the train. Then we'll grab these guys here. That guy doesn't have a... Oh, he doesn't need... Think of it. Alright, that'll do. Go ahead. Do the switch move here real quick. Shoink. Unhook. That one's good. That switch is lined for my movement. Go ahead and hop in here. Okay, now our boiler pressure's back. That switch is lined, so I'm not going to smash into Betsy up there. Park Betsy up there. This makes a convenient little switcher pocket. Because when I pull the train back in, I'll pull it back in on this track here, cut off the engine, And then these cars will all be on the rear end, so Betsy can just grab those, shove them into a yard truck, and then shove the entire steel train down to the depot and make me some money. Let's see. We clear? We're clear. Oh, wrong way. Derp. Let's see. Lined. And that one's lined. Alright. Alright, good to go. Yeah, this engine is fun to run. So if you're playing this game and you haven't bought this one yet, this is a fun engine to run. It feels heavy, it feels tough. It is so much bigger. I mean, look how much bigger it is compared to the Porter 2 over here. I mean, this is a road engine through and through. But its air brake makes it really, really responsive. Now, the cars don't have air brakes on them. So you'd still have to manually set brakes if you wanted to do any in-train braking. But maybe someday the cars will have an air brake as well. I don't know. So I've been kind of quiet on my wish list for this game just because I've been enjoying what they've actually given us so much. And I haven't even bought all the engines yet, so I still kind of want to try the Class 70. Maybe we'll use that for a coal mine train. Or maybe we'll just use this engine, I don't know. So this is a one-man operation here. Everything is profit. So I have no overhead. And so I might not even need another engine. Just because this one is so powerful. I think the Class 70 actually has more power, tractive effort than this engine does. Did we bring all three of these with us? Yeah, okay, we're good. This one's probably going to need a pin. Take a look here. Throw the switch. So, easy does it. Easy does it. There we go. That'll do. And off we go. Yeah, life would be a little bit easier with the brakey, but I actually kind of like doing my own switch move. These things. That switch is lined. Yep, we're good. Do we have a pin? We don't have a pin. We will need one. Go pick these guys up here. So maybe I can... Man, it'd be great if I could run this whole train in an hour and a half. So all the way back. Alright, coming back. I don't know, that might be a little optimistic. Might be a little optimistic. Just have to see. I think I've got my moves at the Smelter planned out really well, though. Kind of laid out the trackage in a way where the road engine here can do all the work. Because I was kind of thinking about taking either number 1 or number 2, Betsy or number 2 down there, and using them kind of as a switch engine. But not until I build up to the coal mine, which I have been working on. So building in this game, though, I mean, you can only do so much of it in a day before you're like, oh, okay, I've had enough. And it does take patience. Alright, so this should be everybody. Shoink. Take that off. We don't want square wheels. Actually, I didn't check all the... Oh, see, look at that. That has flat spots on that car. Car shop would have pissed at me. So, superintendent yell at me. That guy's a jerk. Alright, we're lined out, we're lined out. Off we go. Before we do that, let's... this run here is mostly downhill, so I bet you we can do it off of one load of logs in the fire. Alright. In we go. Got my cylinder cocks there. I think you're supposed to do that whenever you let the engine sit for too long. I don't know. I mean, you guys who know more about steam engines, let me know there in the comments. Not quite sure when you use that. It doesn't seem to have any in-game effect. So, oh man, this is a heavy, heavy train. So this is now 14 cars on the wheel. So with all our loads on the head end, and then of course all our stakes back there. but I think we can actually crank this up here. I've been reluctant to actually open them all the way up because I don't know if like you actually go that much faster, and I certainly don't want to try it with a 14 car train here. So this would be the longest train that I've run to this point. Probably not the heaviest. The one that we ran earlier is probably the heaviest, although we're going to break that record here pretty soon too. Because I have a feeling in this game that steel or raw iron is heavier than raw lumber. But I don't know. So I'm kind of curious about that. If, you know, because like the cars all hold the same amount of weight according to their reporting marks. But I don't know if all the cargoes weigh the same. I'm fairly convinced that cordwood cars are heavy, and so are log cars, and then lumber cars and beam cars are a little bit lighter. But that might just be in my head. I don't know the answer to that. Again, if you know the answer to that, please let me know. I would appreciate it. The answer to that is probably somewhere on the Discord, but Discord is a mystery to me. I do not know how it works. So I did hop on there just to read the whatever the devs were saying. It was like, I can't navigate this. So, that's okay. Alright, I don't need to learn all the new tricks. Alright, coming up on an S curve here, let's go ahead and peel off some speed, because I think this is about where the downgrade starts. So, and I think once we get past this piece, it'll be nothing but brake all the way down. Now, fortunately, the big chunk of this track is actually fairly straight. This one is not as curvy as the mine track. I try to make as much tangent track down here as possible. I think I did a decent job of it. But that will remain to be seen. So yeah, these cars are jiggling. They're getting a little angry. Pushy. We will push back a bit here. This would be another pucker moment. Right here. Where you always brake going into the curve rather than inside the curve. If I recall. Like I said, did not go to engine school. So, but have been to my fair share of derailments. Let's see, what's the most common cause of a derailment? Hands down, probably running through a switch. Hands down, probably, yeah. And I know I've seen a lot of people on the Steam server there saying, why don't we have spring switches? And I kind of agree with you, but also at the same point in time, spring switches have their own problems too. So they have a tendency to spring underneath the train, which is bad. So you have to be carefully locked for leading end movements. When you're heading into the switch, this would be definitely another pucker moment right here. This curve right here. Like, oh my gosh. Alright, easy does it. Especially with them heavy cars pushing us right behind the engine here. And this is the part that I'm kind of curious about. This bridge right here. Man, this looks steeper than 2.5 degrees, but I went through and I ran a bridge underneath it again just to check. And it says it is, but I'm not entirely convinced. I don't know. I even went back and watched the video, and yep, set at 2.5 degrees, but it just looks steep. So here you go. Here's your Kodak moment coming down. We got brake at 22%. Still, yeah, actually no, it might not be that steep. They're not pushing me that hard. No, not too bad. We got everybody? Looks like we got everybody. I don't have a different type of car back there. 1, 2, 3. I can't count them with all frickin' trees in the way. Yeah. And this part here is actually pretty flat. And so we might actually have to put the regulator back on here in a sec. But there she is. There's her destination. So we did the whole thing in less than an hour, all the way down, all the way up, and then down here. We got maybe about 20-30 minutes of switching and heading back home. But this run here has been pretty fast too. Yeah, in fact, look at that. We're going to start spooling out our speed here. Have to come back in. I put this bridge in here just for pretty. Absolutely didn't need it, but figured this was a gully. Probably need some drainage. Oh yeah, we're almost flat here. So, losing speed. And there's the track. This is the one part where there's 1, 2, 3 tracks. So, this is not what I had planned, but this is the only way I could get it to work. With my curve radius and keeping those grades down. Without having to kick way out to the waterfall out there, which is not really what I wanted. This is going a little fast. A little fast. See, my tender was giving me a little bit of guff there. So, same thing with this bridge. It's just for pretty. Figured there was probably a creek running through here, at least certain times of the year. So I figured I'd throw in a bridge there. We'll have to check and make sure that my switches are lined. Did come down here and murder quite a few trees. So they could have a... Yep, I can see it. It's lined. Lined for straight ahead. Which is where the left-hand track, which is the one that I want to take. Alright. We are here in 56 minutes. Let's let the boys know we're coming. Lined in for main track. I did build a fuel station down here before, but then I thought about, well, if I'm not going to have the Betsy down here or anybody, then I bring my fuel station with me. So I tore it all out. Alright, passing a platform. Gotta give the boys some bell. So, oh, look at that. I left a little diamond in there. My bad. Hopefully that doesn't derail us. Nope. So I use those kind of as nodes to latch a track onto. Kind of like in Skylines or... yeah, I guess you don't have to do that in Transport Fever. Which is the only other, I guess, type of game like that I've played recently. So we're going to come all the way around here. So this is our return track. You can see my mine, my beginning efforts up to the coal mine. Eventually there will be a Y right here. I haven't thought out all the moves yet, so I'm not quite sure exactly how that's going to change the trackage down here. But I did simplify a lot of this. I had an idea of having a passing sighting here and a kickback track, and I decided that absolutely none of those things were necessary. So, you see the cordwood that I brought down earlier? Which managed to survive the derailments. So this is the ore track here, so we're gonna go ahead and break here, and wonder how many of these cars you can fit here. That looks pretty good. Let's go take a peek. Bet you could fit 3 here. 1, 2. Yeah, I bet you could do 3 cars in one move. All right, moment of truth. Does it actually load? It does! Haha! Cool. So, I was a little scared. It might be a little bit too far away. So, in order to pick up all the cat turds we're dropping off here, this is what these things look like. Alright, and so while that's doing that, we're going to put the brake on here. Shoink. And that switch is lined. And we're going to just pull up here and then shove these cordwood cars back into this track. I've seen some people do it in a really clever way where this actually comes all the way... Oh, no, sorry, the reverser. Where they got this to kind of scoop into here. I could not do it in a way that was to my satisfaction. And then, of course, you can't build this way, at least to my knowledge, because you get this ore pile right there. Which I suppose makes sense. So... it's okay. There is a switch up there. That's right. One is lined against our movement. But that's okay, we're not going to go that far. Wonder if I can kick these cars back into the ore cars. Bet you I can when they're empty. I don't know if there's a grade here or not. I think there's a little grade right here. So, but I think this is actually flat. Well, there might be a little grade. So, we might be able to kick those cars back into the train. So, I've been doing that with Betsy in the yard, and this is the first game that I've ever played where you can actually kick cars somewhat realistically. Which of course is another very common way to derail a car. So if you don't know what you're doing. So, and I make no claims as to such. So did not do a terrible amount of flat switching in my career. Did some though. It was kind of fun. In fact, it was probably the most fun. Or at least one of them. We'll put it that way. Alright, I think we can do 3 here. Let's check it out. I tried this out earlier and it seemed to work. So, yep. Yep. And yep, alright, so 3 is good. We got our cordwood stacking up there. And I think 8, we bring 32 with us. So last time I had some extras with me too. So anyway, we're good. Let's go ahead and pull out here. I'll kind of show you what I have in mind as far as our move here goes. I'm going to kick these cars. I just can't resist. I absolutely do it. Well, this engine wouldn't be the best for doing that. Well, you can do it with any engine. So. This one's not as responsive as Betsy. So Betsy's great at kicking cars. If somewhat violently. So the little engine has just got guts. I've been using her a little bit more since I've been doing some yard switching. And I actually use her to take the lumber cars. Anything that's revenue, I use her now to take it down to the depot, just because she's faster than her sister. Alright, here we go. Oh, here's how you kick a car. So, pull the pin, gas up the engine, so give everybody lots of warning, and goose the regulator. Oh, it's not even that far. We don't have to kick these guys that hard. And then kill your regulator after you've got a little bit of momentum going. And then stop before the switch, and off they go, like that. And so we want this. Oh, actually, we want the switch line this way anyway. Let's go down here and see. Now, if you want to do this the old school way, you get up on this car here, and you hit this before it smashes into that. Oh, but not too much, because otherwise you're short. And check that out, man. I couldn't have done that better. Alright, let's see. We got to pull this handbrake off, and we got to put the other handbrake on way up here. There you go. That's how you kick a car. Or a cut. That was 3 cars, so that would technically be a cut of cars. If you're curious. Put that handbrake on. And now we're going to take the engine back out to that first switch, and then we're going to back all the way around the loop, knuckle up into these cars, and then go over there and do some loading. So, but so far I'm pretty happy with the switch job and the way that it's working out. I did pin that, right? Yeah, I did. Okay. So, and then, did I put brake on this car? I did on that. Oh, that's right. I had to kick it off. So, otherwise, yeah, it's like the most embarrassing thing you can do in that case is, well, the most embarrassing thing you can do as an engineer is not shove them hard enough. And the most embarrassing thing you can do as a brakey is apply too much brake before you actually get to the post. Which those other cars there, since they were tied down, that would be our post. Now, most of the time, nowadays, you have knuckle couplers. Well, yeah, everything's knuckle couplers. Except for maybe in Europe. I don't know anything about trains over there. But everything's got knuckle couplers now. But you can still, like, you can do what you can kick cars into another cut, your post, that has a closed knuckle on it, and so then you get butted knuckles on them, which means that they don't knuckle together, which sometimes means they come back your way. But most of the time what it means is that, just like in this game, which a lot of you are calling a glitch, and yes, it is a glitch, but that's exactly what happens when you pull away from the from a cut of cars, ready to go. What's going on? Okay, no, we're good. We need to remember to throw some more fuel on here before we run all the way around. And then when you pull the train out, parts of it just decide to stay put. So, yeah. I may or may have not done that a few times in my career. Oh man, I hope you guys can like appreciate how much joy this game is bringing me. It's bringing back so many memories. Most of them good. But you know, like just the frustration. Oh wait, the frustration that comes with running trains sometimes is usually offset by, you know, the joy of just highballing on the open road out there. And, you know, I mean, conductoring is actually, it can be pretty interesting work. It can be extremely boring work. Same thing with being a brakeman or a switchman or a yardmaster. Being a yardmaster can be really boring sometimes. My yard, we didn't have a full-blown yardmaster. We had what was called a footboard yardmaster, who was basically our switch crew conductor, who would go out there with his switch lists and things like that and figure out, all right, we need to get rid of this, we need to get rid of that, we need to find a home for this. So, but then there are other days where all he did all day long, him and the other guy, the engineer, because our switch crew, they were married. Not like actually married, but you know, but that just means you always work with the same guy on the pool. Where all they did was put power on trains. That was it. They were basically hostlers. So, you know. So some days fun, some days boring, other days cold. Many days, usually cold. Windy, snowy. So, you know, fun stuff. So, bring your dickies. You're gonna need them today. We don't have to worry about that here on this railroad. So, thankfully. Rain. We don't have to worry about rain. That's good, too. So, we don't have to worry about cars and grade crossings. That's good, too. So, thank you, you know, for putting... Oh, whoa, whoa, those guys are a little close. I'm getting ready to smash into my own cut of cars there. That would have been fun. Maybe you guys will see a derailment then. But not just yet. Alright, that's good. Knock it off. Not on a platform. Alright. Oh, just barely caught that, I think. So, and just a little bit too much pressure there. Did we just score down any cars? I hope not. No, everybody looks good. So, that is another type of derailment that you see in the real world, is when you have too much... Well, there's a couple different types of in-train forces, but if you have too much kinetic energy, so to speak, which I can't remember the exact term for it. What the hell was it called? So, sorry guys, it's been a long time. Like I said, this game's bringing back a lot of cool memories. But if you compress these cars too much and you got like loads back there, or those are tied down, you literally like. These cars will like squirt out on the outside of the curve. It's terrifying. So, especially if they have really long drawbars. Fortunately, I think every car in this game is the exact same length. So, but in the real world, there's other cars that have a lot of length. They'll shoot out the shorter cars in between them. And then there is some realism to some of the derailments you can have in this game. So I hear tale of people string-lining trains, which is where you have heavy cars back here and you come around a curve like this, and these cars ride up on the inside rail and then spill inside the curve. So, seen that. Yeah, so you can actually do that in this game, which is kind of impressive. Alright, so I have no idea how these cranes work in here, so let's see. Let's go ahead and line these up. If I recall from my previous one, these are also a little bit offset. So let's just go ahead and load up here. We're going to play Crane Simulator for a couple minutes, which is an integral part of this game. Alright, here we go. Let's see, what are you guys going to do? And then over here, what do we got? We got rails over here. I think I can get you guys on these. Doesn't seem too bad. Oh, No, it's not bad at all. I think these hold 3. If I'm not mistaken. These definitely, yeah, these hold 10. I remember. So when I did my planning last time up to the iron or to the coal mine, looked up there's a great thing on the Steam guides there. What goes where? That's pretty damn handy. So, but we are loading up and we are at $1.10. So, in terms of time, yeah, I'm pretty sure these are 3. I don't want to put another one on there and waste it. Do I have enough cars? How many of these do I have? How many more do I have? I have 12. So I need 4 more cars. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, 5. I got 5. Okay, alright. Yeah. I think we're good. Actually, we should have 1 left over. Yeah. We should have 1 empty stake bed after this. Oh, this train's going to be hard to load. Those last couple cars. Because the cranes are right here. We'll have to put down some rails down there in the future. This next move is easy. It's just a head 1. You guys gonna fit? Yep. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, so 10. These on here. Oh, and actually that'll be all of them just on these 2, because I had 18. And so each one of these will have 9 on them. Perfect. I'll have to think about that when I start planning for the run up to the coal mine. Which is going to be long. At least with my current plans in place. I have seen some people build over the mountains way down by the refinery, which is tempting. I don't know if I can do it in 2.5 degrees grade. I might try it. We'll see. I don't know. I've been scoping out my current coal mine. It's all at 2.5 so far. I just have yet to start building on the grade on it, which is going to take a while. And I've had enough building for a couple days. I'd rather run trains right now at the moment. You know, it's kind of one of those you do you things. Actually, that diamond's kind of in between those two. I bet you if I pull that up to about there, we'll be okay. That's not going to help me for later, though. Let's see. So how many? It'll take 1, 2... how many of these are there going to be? There's 18, so it's going to be 6 cars of these. So it's going to be 4 moves. Lame. Unless I left this car empty, but that's a terrible idea. That's asking for a derailment. So especially an empty car in between 2 very heavy cars, that's an awful idea. That is a great way to break a knuckle. So, or in this case, pull up or pop a pin. I don't know what you say. So, I don't know what the terminology is when you break a pin. So, I mean, pull the pin is still a very common piece of terminology. So, in fact, you'd pull the pin on all kinds of things. So, pull the pin on a car. You pull the pin on a relationship. You pull the pin on your career. So, it was a very common way to basically say, I quit. I'm gonna pull a pin. You would pull the pin when you retired, come to think of it, too. Alright, so this is going to be a little tricky here. Let's just see. Yeah, that was another ubiquitous piece of terminology. Pull the pin. Same thing as here we go. So, whenever you're leaving or hanging up the phone, here we go. So, not kidding. So, I mean, you would end a phone call, like you'd be on a conference call and people would end it with, oh, here we go. So, let's see, I don't know if these guys are gonna, I don't know if that one's gonna load on there. Looks like it. Yeah, we're good. Alright, cool. And here we come. So, people used to say that too all the time. Switch crew used to say that. Have them parked out of the yard. Call them in the yard. Here we come. Alright. See you in a minute. Yeah, good times. Good times. Tough times, though. Working for a railroad is not all fun and games. In fact, it rarely is. It is sometimes, but You're talking like major long hours, long, like stupidly long hours, like kind of hours that people just wouldn't work anymore. At least not without like gobs of overtime, which on the railroad, depending on where you're working, is either completely forbidden or 100% mandatory. There is no in between. My territory, it was 100% mandatory. You were gonna die on hours every single time, especially if it was during the winter. Or if there was a football game you really wanted to watch this weekend, you were gonna die on hours. It was a given. So, but that's okay. Hay was good. Hay was good. I don't know, you know, though, but I mean, this is like a while ago. I'm not going to tell you exactly how long ago to out myself here, but it was a while ago. And back then, working for the railroad was like the best job you could get in the town. Well, there were a couple towns nearby, but where I worked, or at least for most of my career, if you got a job on a railroad, you were like basically set. Now, the only other thing you could do is like, I don't know, run a farm, or a couple factories nearby, or a couple government jobs. That was about it. Is that everything? I think we're good. Sorry, I just jumped in here thinking that I was going to pull forward again, but I think we are out of stock. We are fully loaded here. All right, so fully loaded. So on the last leg of the trip at an hour and 16 minutes, we're gonna make it home within an hour and a half. This is gorgeous. All right, we're gonna need some more logs on the fire here. I think my switch ahead line for my movement. Let's see. Yep, line for my movement. We're out of here. So we got good fire, we got good water, we got everything. Off we go. Give us a bell, Tiny. So let's turn on those cylinder cocks. And we are running for the quit here. And off we go. Now this train's gonna be interesting. So let's see how these cars handle that trestle over there. This is hands down the heaviest, longest train I have ever run in this game. And I am curious to see how well we do. I think we can turn that off or we clear the platform. Not quite. So, although they know we're moving now, it's all good. Off we go. So, make our ascent up our switchback here. Which I guess this isn't a traditional switchback where you actually like, you know, pull forward and then back up and then back up. Yeah, actually, you know what? That's interesting. You could do some really interesting track work if you built an actual bona fide switchback. I know it would piss a lot of you off because it would require reverse movements. But it is a legit tactic. I wonder if I don't think we need one up to the coal mine. I've pretty much scoped that out. And so once I build that, our mountain railroading is basically done. All the stuff in the southern plain down there, I have yet to even think about how I want it to go. That'll be more like building industrial switching layouts and stuff like that, you know? Doing that kind of track work, because basically all you need to do is just connect them all. So let's go ahead and let's gas up here. I think we got enough fuel to make it up the hill without me having to jump out of there and pour some more logs on there. But it just depends. Let's see, this goes down by about, what, dot 15 of a log? Yeah, each time? Maybe, yeah, dot 15 of a log. Each tick here. I think we'll be okay. And we kind of want to charge this hill, but we're going to keep this regulator at 70 here. Oh, 69 giggity. So we're going to, well, we'll put it at 75. What the hell? So, because I know this is going to be, it's going to be tough. Pulling this curve here with all this iron on this train. This is a heavy train. So now in the future, I don't think I'll be running a train that's this heavy. Because the rails will go up to the Hooskow, the coal mine, which I think is the only place in the entire map that requires rails, and so we won't have to haul those rails once we build up to the coal mine. We'll just bring the raw iron back. Or maybe we'll bring it back with the coal train. I don't know. I haven't thought about it. So we'll have to think about those moves, plan them out a little bit, because this whole thing, I've been trying to build this kind of somewhat realistic railroad here. So I would want to run this as cheaply as possible, because our superintendent and his Wall Street masters are greedy corporate bastards. So, like all railroads, there is no such thing as a railroad that is run by people who are benevolent. At least I've never heard tale of one. Oh, we're losing some power here. Are we gonna make it up the hill? Come on, number 3. Come on, number 3. I think you got this. I think you got this. And check that out. That is a heavy, nasty, gnarly train right there. So, and at 75, it sounds like we got this hill licked. Maybe. Sounds pretty good, though. We got one last curve right here. Yeah, we're good. I bet you could run an even longer train. 75. She got a little tired there, but not too bad. So at 75, we still got quite a bit of power we could pour on if we needed to. Look at that fuel, though. It's just chewing right through it. Same thing with our water on this one. I noticed that the water here, the water level is directly related to your regulator. So, which, I mean, makes sense, but, you know, it's like if this is at 75, it takes off like 75 of it or something. Well, maybe it's different on this engine. No, that looks right. But I noticed that on the Betsy in particular. On Betsy. The Betsy. We have a Betsy. So, anyway, up we go. I'm going to highball right into the yard, and we're just going to pull right back into the yard track that we departed out of. In the future, this train will probably have to go into a different track. And eventually, when we get the coal mine train set up, we're going to have to reconfigure the yard just a little bit. Because right now, the yard's kind of built for this train only, and the lumber train. So there's 4 tracks. So there's a main, an arrival departure track, 1 yard track, and a runner right now. And so in the future, as we add trains, we'll add more yard tracks and do more classification. So and we're going to have to start setting up additional lumber locals, because there's going to be another lumber local for the coal mine train. Now that one just needs beams. No lumber on that train. So we're going to have to buy a new set of cars. And probably a new engine, because I mean, if you play the game, you make money. So, nothing in the game costs you money except for murdering trees. So, you know, which is fine with me. I mean, it won't stay that way forever, probably. Man, this train has given us a little bit of trouble coming up this S-curve here. So that's another thing you want to try and avoid is absolute S-curves. That's not a complete S-curve, because all the S-curves that I've built, there's always a piece of tangent track that's at least 1 or 2 cars long in the middle of the curve. So that's a good tip when you're building your track work. In fact, I ought to write that down. Do a video on it. You know, I should do a video on track tips after I build the coal mine wreck. I've done enough of it now, so that, I don't know, I feel pretty good about my track work, generally. And I'm a little picky about it. Maybe a little pickier than most. But that's fine. I mean, you know, it's a train game. You know, this is your model train set. You build it the way that you want to. So, you'll get no guff from me on that. But the Midland here, like I said, I'm trying to build something that's a little bit realistic, kind of reminds me of my days on the railroad. If I were to build a model railroad again, it would be kind of like this. Maybe even this era. Last one I built was all modern stuff, which is kind of fun too. But I don't know. The older I get, I kind of like the older trains, shorter trains. But we'll see. We might be able to run this. We might be able to bump this train up to, let's see, it'd be 15, 16, 17, 18 cars. And then, oh my gosh, it would be 21 cars, 22 cars going down there. All right, we're coming in the yard here. So that'd be pretty heavy duty. I don't know if this engine would be able to handle that. We might have to try it though at some point in time. Coming in the yard here, there's Betsy sitting in a switcher pocket. And so, just like in the real world, all this engine would do here is this engine's road crew would pull in here, cut loose, come into the service facility, tie up, and go home. In fact, they would turn this engine over to the hostlers down here. And I've done my fair share of hostling between my now 3 engines here. That maybe at some point in time I'll have to show you some of the yard work that you actually have to do before you run any trains in the morning, so to speak. There is no like day-night cycle on this, which is fine. But a little bit of realism as far as what the clock goes would be pretty good. And we're just using the YouTube clock here as I record. Let's see. I don't know if we're clear of that switch way down there. Oh, we're gonna have to brake here. This train just might be a skosh too long. See, look at that fouling right there. Let's go ahead and just back up half a car, otherwise this engine's not going to get up the service track here. So that's what it means when you corner a car, when you have something that's a little bit too close and you're fouling. Usually there's a piece of white paint on the rail right there that prevents you from doing that, but we don't have such things in this game just quite yet. All right, so there we go. We have just successfully run our first mine train here, and actually, you know what? Let's get in front of old number 3 here for our screenshot for the day, and we have yeah, there we go. Let's do that one. What the hell? So bam. So, but we have successfully run train number 3, our mine train, in 1 hour and 26 minutes. I'm really happy with this. I'm sure we'll be able to do it a little bit faster. As I've had a little bit more practice with the regulator and the route. But this one actually went off without a hitch tonight, which I'm fairly impressed. So, but that's train number 3 on our schedule. We'll be sure to run it a few more times in the future. Maybe we'll up the consist a little bit more, which of course will up the time, but will also increase our revenue, which our corporate masters are going to be pleased with if we can do it. If we can't do it, they'll just have to live with it the way that it is. But regardless of that, I had a great time tonight. Hope you guys did too. And sorry for the length of the video, but we got it all done in one run here, and I hope you enjoyed it. If you like what I'm doing here, please like, comment, subscribe, give me some bell and whistle, some love down there in the comments or whatever, and I'll keep them coming here. So, but that'll do it for tonight. So take care now, and we'll catch you all next time. See ya.